So while everyone is still in the Pokemon mood, filling up the Pokedex, breeding, battling, and of course, bench sitting, there have been plenty of recent videos out there of people talking about their favourite Pokemon, and their favourites from the Kalos region. I thought of trying my hand at doing something a little bit different, so I've decided instead to make a video based on the top 5 list of Pokemon moves that I think look totally badass or interesting. With the fully rendered 3D graphics in Pokemon X and Y, it's no surprise that we get treated to plenty of awesome attacking animations, much like what Pokemon Colosseum, XD Gale of Darkness, and the Stadium series have done in the past. Now before we start, I have to apologise for the lack of a 3DS capture card, so unfortunately I have to rely on the old toaster to record some of this footage. Enjoy! Number 5 goes to the 6th generation status move, Confide. While it might not be the most useful status move out there, the animation is perfectly fitting for this attack, as the Pokemon confides something unknown to its target. Its animation just looks silly, and I found it quite hilarious when I first saw it used. And there's a few interesting images out there that have surfaced on the internet from this move's quirky concept. As simple as its animation is, I do find it quite memorable. Flying Press. Hawluka's signature move and the only attack known to have 2 typings, meaning it deals super effective damage on 5 different types. I just love how he just dive bombs from above in some awesome wrestler action, which is very fitting coming from Hawluka's design. This attack is practically made for him. Number 3 on this spot goes to none other than Brave Bird, an amazingly strong flying attack with an even more amazing animation. While it goes great with any Gale Wings Talonflame, just look how freaking badass this is. The Pokemon is flying across the screen at blinding speeds. With an animation like that, you know you're dealing with a strong attack with base 120 power. There seems to be a thing where if an attack animation uses an angle tilting up into the sky above the target Pokemon, you get the impression that you're gonna be screwed. Big time. Take Thunder and Draco Meteor for example. It makes for a great dynamic effect seeing the attack coming down from above, but those 2 attacks didn't make it on this list, because that would be too obvious. Since everyone likes Thunder and Draco Meteor and we would rather give screen time to the lesser known attacks, okay? The attack at number 2 also uses interesting camera angle effects. Its name? Icicle Crash. An amazing physical attack that gives the chance of flinching, which makes perfect sense when over a dozen sharp icicle shards rain down upon you. Ouch. Icicle Crash is also one of the strongest physical ice moves, which gets complemented by a great attacking animation. Now before we get to number 1, I'd like to quickly say some honourable mentions that could have made it to this list, which happen to be... Number 1 to me was a clear and obvious winner, on the simple fact on how brilliant it presents itself. It's epic, cinematic, and gives a nice oriental vibe. It is none other than Retaliate. This move is one that speaks revenge and redemption, getting an intimidating 140 base attack if any of your Pokemon had fainted in the previous turn. Just look at this. It's a sudden freeze frame of both Pokemon, the swift attacker and the helpless victim, from a side perspective. It's like something you would see in a ninja movie, complete with cherry blossom petals overlaid on a tight letterboxed frame. And let's face it, Retaliate is freaking awesome. Well, that concludes my very first attempt at making a top favourite something list. So let me know what you think. Admittedly, I have not seen every single attack in Pokemon X and Y, so if you know a Pokemon move that you think looks really awesome, post it in the comments below. This has been Sapphiremayo, over and out.